This animated story comes from Gabon and is adapted from a true story. We often turn our backs on the people we love for people we know nothing about because of material goods, and the consequences can often be tragic. Let's discover together Sara's story, entitled The Price of Disbelief. Once upon a time, in the vibrant city of Libreville, Gabon, there lived a young girl named Sara. She came from a modest family, with parents who worked hard to provide for her and her younger siblings. They didn't have much, but they had love and strong values. Sara was known for her radiant beauty, which made her stand out in school. Despite her outward charm, she was deeply insecure about her family's lack of material wealth. She often felt inferior to her wealthier classmates and dreamed of a life filled with luxury, the kind that she saw on television or heard about from others. As Sara entered high school, her insecurities began to take over her thoughts. She yearned for the kind of lifestyle that could come only from having a rich partner. One day, a well-dressed man named Eric, much older than her and seemingly successful, took notice of her. He was captivated by her beauty and quickly began showering her with expensive gifts, designer clothes, jewelry, outings to the most luxurious restaurants, and trips to exotic places. Sara, overwhelmed by the attention and dazzled by the material wealth, quickly fell for him. Soon, Sara's world shifted. She no longer saw herself as the modest, humble girl from a hard-working family. With every new gift, every new compliment, she began to change. She grew distant from her parents and friends, who began to notice her arrogance. She no longer valued the simple pleasures of life or the things that once made her happy. Instead, she became obsessed with wealth and status. Her relationship with Eric made her feel invincible, like she was finally living the life she deserved. Her pride swelled, and she became disdainful of those around her, even her own family, whom she saw as beneath her. But after 3 months of dating, something unexpected happened. Eric suddenly disappeared. He stopped calling, stopped sending gifts, and stopped showing up. Sara was left heartbroken and confused. The extravagant life she had come to depend on vanished, leaving her feeling empty and alone. As time passed, strange things began to happen. Sara started having vivid dreams, nightmares even, where she felt as if something was eating her from the inside out. She would wake up in cold sweats, feeling weak and sick. Her health began to deteriorate rapidly. She couldn't eat or sleep properly, and she lost weight at an alarming rate. Her once radiant beauty faded. Her skin grew pale, and she looked as though she was rotting alive. Frightened and desperate, Sara realized she had lost herself in the pursuit of materialism, and the price she had paid was more than just her health. It was her soul. She finally confided in her mother, who listened with a heart full of concern and love. Sara confessed everything: the relationship with Eric, her pride, and how she had neglected her family and values. Her mother, filled with compassion, took her to church, hoping that prayer and spiritual healing could restore her. At the church, Sara knelt down and prayed with all her heart. She asked for forgiveness, not just from God, but from herself and her family. The prayers of the church, along with the support and love of her mother, began to heal her. Slowly but surely, Sara regained her strength, and her health began to improve. She felt a new sense of clarity, one that made her realize how wrong she had been to value material wealth over the love and integrity that had once defined her. In time, Sara made amends with her parents, apologized to her friends, and started to rebuild the life she had lost. She returned to the simple joys of her modest family, and this time she valued love, kindness, and humility more than anything. She understood now that true wealth came not from material goods, but from the relationships she cherished and the peace within her soul. This story reminds us that the pursuit of wealth and material possessions, we can lose sight of what truly matters: our values, relationships, and inner peace. Pride and greed can cloud our judgment and lead us down a destructive path. True happiness comes not from what we own, but from who we are and how we treat others. Humility, gratitude, and love are the treasures that nourish the heart and soul. And these are the things that bring lasting fulfillment. If these echoes speak to you, like, subscribe, share, and join us to our journey to discover new legend. The ancestors still speak. Be there to hear them.